What's going on, guys? Hey, I'm coming to you from my home office because we are in the middle of Ice-mageddon here in Texas. We just had a major storm blow through over the last 24, 36 hours, and most of the city is still kind of shut down because we're sort of waiting for the thaw. And so I didn't want any time to go by because something has been on my mind since the beginning of this week that I thought it was worth sharing. My team and I, for my software company, attended a conference, and I gotta say, I was completely shocked at the level of disengagement that there was at this conference. People have spent, companies have spent thousands of dollars to send their team to these events, and yet I saw people that just weren't delivering the result that I suspect that their companies were hoping for. You've got these elaborate booths, you've got great lighting and carpeting, and you've gone to the trouble of putting together a very good representation of your company, and yet here you are focused on your phone. Or as people walk by, not even saying good morning or good afternoon or trying to get them engaged in conversation at all. And so, I got to thinking how many companies actually have a game plan when they go into these events. How many of them actually go back and do what I call a postmortem and say, what went well? What could we have done better? What will we do different next time? And so I thought I would just make a really quick video because I think it's an important aspect. Everything I talk about with the Ripple is about the power of engagement, power of connecting correctly. And if you're trying to build your business, and especially if you're sitting on an exhibitor floor, you are there because you want to build your brand, you want to create some awareness, and you're hoping that maybe you might find some opportunities for your company. And so why waste that money if you haven't got a plan? So, what do they say? If you... A failure to plan is a plan to fail. And I saw it over and over again at this event. So a couple of points that I wanted to make here for you guys. Have you prepared ahead of time? Do we have the right, game plan? Does everybody understand it? Do we know what the mission is, right? That's number one. Number two, are you sending the right people? If you're an executive within an organization and you say, hey, I've got to be at this association event, or I've got to be at this big trade show, are the people that I'm sending the best representation of the company? And believe it or not, it may not necessarily be your sales people. You may not be your top sales individuals. Those folks are all focused on identifying problems, getting people into a sales conversation. And let's face it, conferences, you don't have that opportunity to pitch a whole lot, right? And when you do pitch and you see it, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to see it happening. It's uncomfortable to be a part of it. If you're, just hopping upon somebody's somebody's booth, you don't want to be pitched and promoted too much or too heavily. And sometimes your top salespeople don't understand the difference, right? To them, everybody's a prospect, and that may or may not be true. However, the conference environment is not the one where you want to just absorb somebody's total time and attention right then and there. So you want to look at people that are on your team that are really good at engaging people inside the office, people that are really good at treating their customers right, and dealing with clients in a way that really leaves them with a good impression. Good people. And if you haven't understood what that means, it might be a great opportunity for us to have a conversation, because we can look at who you're sending and ultimately get a better handle of who represents the organization the best, right? So are we sending the right people? Do they understand the importance of being approachable? And this is critical, right? I see so many people sitting here on their phones, flip at this event, that people walking by, your people did not pay for you to be there, to be on your cell phone, right? Your job is not that critical. You should be able to put that thing away, focus on the task at hand, which is the people walking up and down the aisles, and not checking Instagram or Facebook or being on a call. You should man your booth enough so that if you do have to do those things, that somebody is there to make sure that your company is being represented, and you just don't have one person doing this. As somebody walks up, hold on. Yep. Let me send that email to you right now. Okay, great. Give me 1 second. Let me hammer out my... What? Are you kidding? Yeah, saw that several times. I'm not even talking like, one or two times. Several times. So put away the laptops, put away the cell phones, teach people the importance of eye contact. Eyes right here, eyes. We have to connect because that is kind of our window to our soul, right? We talk about this a lot with the Ripple, but at the end of the day, it's about making yourself approachable in eye contact, your body language, how open, friendly you look. All of that matters. Doing the right, doing the event right takes practice, and you got to have that game plan. Like I said, right? What are we going to do? Let's have a couple of alternate talk tracks. How are we going to approach people? How do we get them to engage? How do we want to have this conversation in a way that doesn't oversell, like I said, but at the same time piques enough interest that they're willing to share their contact information with you, and you reach a commitment that they would be okay receiving a call or an email from you. What I also saw this time, and people got my card from my software company, and people just started sending LinkedIn invitations. Like, don't do that. Oh my God. I have whole videos on that. Don't do that. And then, what I would say is not only with the game plan, but you want to focus ahead of time on how you can differentiate. Your people can differentiate themselves from everybody else. Number one, I think our team did a really good job at this because we were out in front of the booth, we were engaging, we were trying to connect, and we had some phenomenal conversations. Day one didn't go as strong. We did a post-mortem, kind of decided to make some adjustments on day two, and the results were 2 thumbs up. It was awesome, right? Ultimately, going to these events, they're expensive, they're time-consuming, they can be exhausting. But you got to remember to be there and have fun, be relaxed, but not too relaxed, and remember the purpose of the event. I wanted to share that because I see so many people doing it wrong, so many companies that are investing tons of money, and you might as well have just stuck it on the curb. I know one particular individual that I watched the entire conference. They never came out from behind their booth. They never shut their laptop. And I think out of the entire 2 days where this exhibit hall, and they had a big booth, expensive booth, probably saw 2 conversations. And one of those was that person walking up while they were on the phone. Not bueno. I hope those tips will be helpful. Hope that is something that you can, absorb. And if you're interested and you'd like to see how do we create more positive ripples for your organization at these expos, these conferences, these exhibit opportunities, reach out to me, steve@ripplecentral.com. Leave a comment or check out ripplecentral.com to contact me that way. And let's have a conversation. Let's put together a game plan. Let's make sure that the ROI on those events are maximized to the greatest extent because, gosh, there's so many people out there doing it so bad. So when you do it good, you're going to have some great results because of it. So until next time, my friends, ripple on.